be financially rewarding. I'm glad that that job is not coming. You know, the paid employment that I thought I was going to get.
We'll be discussing with the owner of Lumen Interiors, who started with a furniture business and now he's into interiors fully. I hope people will be able to learn from his experience and he will be able to inspire anyone who doesn't know where to start from, especially if you want to go into interior design and you want to go into furniture making. Why did you start this business?
It's an interesting story because I started out not trying to start a business. I had my NYC in school in Ibadan. I happened to be a teacher for my service year, and then there was not enough furniture. So some of my students used to sit down on the floor during classes. There were not enough chairs and tables, and so I just took it up as part of my community development. That let me see how to make their learning experience a little better. And so I asked around, and I got a couple of carpenters around the school. I raised some money.
Wow.
We made some tables and chairs. So that was like my first introduction
Project.
to anything furniture making.
Okay.
And so it was kind of easy. Of course, there were basic chairs and tables, but it was kind of easy. You got the materials, and they did the work, and so that was it.
How were you able to raise this money?
Okay, so for this project, I spoke with a couple of people, family, friends, people in my space essentially, and they gave us some money, and that was what we used. The business part of it kicked off somewhere down the line. After my service year, I was applying to jobs, of course. That took quite a while. There was, oh, we get you a job here, we get you a job there, and none of it was coming through. And so I was like, okay, while all of this is going on, let me fall back on this thing that I had, kind of started. For the business, it was very funny because it started out as me trying to prove myself. So I had a couple of family friends, and so what I did was I went on the internet. I didn't have any money. I was fresh out of service year. Of course, I had spent my service year money and all of that. So I just went on the internet, downloaded a couple of pictures, so I can make this TV stand for you. I can make this for you. I had never made those things.
So they were not your own pictures.
No, they weren't.
Nice.
So it was just, me trying to make good on resources that it didn't cost any money. So I showed it to an uncle of mine and he was like, oh, you can make this TV stand? And I said, oh, yes, I can. I had an idea of how it would be made, of course. We paid, so I got local resources, I got carpenters. I had moved to Lagos at the time. So I got carpenters, we got the materials. We did the first TV console. It turned out good. I think I made about 5,000 thereabout, which was, this some considering the fact that my NYC salary was, so I did that, and then I did the reupholstery of a sofa for someone else, and so gradually it was a slow process, but it picked up. So that was how I went into the business.
So you started with furniture, desk, and chairs in the school, and then you created your first TV console, upholstery, and now you are into interior fully.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
It was kind of an organic evolution. Some people will make chairs for, some other people dining tables for, and they're asking, do you have anybody that can paint? And someone else comes and says, do you have anybody that can do the lighting? I don't like the lights in my apartment. And so gradually it just crept up on us like, oh, other than the fact that we do furniture, there are a couple of opportunities around this, and we started to build a team, get label artisans here and there to work with.
There's something I want to talk about. Positioning yourself first for opportunities, and that's what you did.
Yeah.
You made yourself available, and while you were working on the furniture, people started asking for related services, and now you are into interior fully.
Yeah.
Have you had any very bad experience, like you don't even like to remember it?
Yeah, we are. Bro, a lot, a
It
whole
was
lot.
just it
Let
was
me
the
just give
worst.
you the worst. There was this one where we had a project which was to deliver furniture for a duplex.
Okay.
It was a referral. We made the sofas, we made the dining, the beds for the kids, and all of that. It went smoothly up until about when we were supposed to hand over everything. Apparently, so it was a couple.
Okay.
Apparently the wife had someone who she had wanted to do the job,
Okay. Yes.
and the husband happened to be the one dealing with us. So
Okay.
after we had delivered and all of that, she came and she was like, no, she didn't want this. She didn't want this style. She didn't want this color. It was kind of, so that was our biggest project up until that point, and it
Yes.
was kind of difficult to manage. We hadn't had that kind of situation before.
Okay.
Normally you could have said, oh, so we have a contract. This is the color that we specified, and these are the dimensions. But I mean, it was a complete mess. Um, Rejected a lot of the items. We had to remake stuff. At the end of the day, I mean, I was just like grateful to be alive. But it was a big learning curve. It was a big learning curve. We lost a lot of money, but then I mean, it taught us that okay, so when you're taking up work, you have to document stuff.
Yes.
You have to agree, and there have to be written records for stuff. Signing up to be a business owner is signing up to be a problem solver. Essentially, you're going to be taking on challenges like as a part of your business. I mean, it's what it is. We deal with a lot of people who aren't formally educated. There has been it's been a constant. We're getting better at it, but a constant drag between what's acceptable standard and what is not. Being punctual, paying attention to details. So just getting that right balance. It's actually been a bit easy for us getting people like on our team to work with like supervisors and to manage the process, and so that has been quite easy. But for artisans, that has been a big deal. Like because of some of these reasons, you have to extend your timelines sometimes. For electricity, I mean, electricity is a critical part of what we do production. So sometimes you have to burn more fuel, that eats into your profit, of course, but then you have to do what you have to do. We work essentially from about 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. On good months, maybe we have electricity at the workshop for like 4 or 5 hours. Okay. So I mean, we always have to provide our own electricity. Okay. So the government actually banned the importation of furniture, of completely assembled furniture a couple of years ago. And there's been a boom in the local furniture industry. There's been a huge real estate development over the past decade, essentially. So there's been a huge demand for home, office furniture. For the first 2-3 years, it was a bit, trying to get the balance between making money and building a business. I mean, I was essentially just living off everything that I made, if that makes any sense. So along the way, I mean, I got to know how to price products, how to factor in your profit, how to factor in for miscellaneous expenses that are always coming. So yeah, it's been financially rewarding. Some people say that, oh, don't do it for the money. You have to be passionate about it. You have to pay the bills. So yeah, it's been financially rewarding as well.
Who do you sell to? Because you have sophisticated, classy interiors and furniture.
We have corporate clients and individual clients. For our corporate clients, almost all our offices that we have been tech offices.
Yeah.
So that's on the one hand, and then for the individual clients, so we don't do premium furniture, which is highly priced, of course. And we also don't do the low end furniture. So we're somewhere in the middle. So we've been able to strike a good mix for industry. People who want good designs, clean, very well finished furniture. And on the other hand, it's not breakneck. In terms of pricing. So somewhere in between.
Your social life, what's it like?
Yeah, so my social life is I'm not a very social person. I don't engage in as much social activities as I would like to. So essentially, I work during the week, weekends, spend time with family, and we're back at it again. But I have a couple of friends. Of course, everybody's up and goes grind. So It would be nice to make more time for friends and for social activities. I try to play sports, or I thought I was going to, but I've not been able to come around to that just yet. But yeah, from time to time, I try to take out time. You know.
So, what has been your motivation? What's kept you going throughout the years?
Okay, so a couple of things. For one, I guess the fact that this wasn't necessarily my line, I've had to keep proving to myself, that I can do this. I studied history in university, and I end up being furniture and interior person, and so I've had to keep proving to myself. That has kept me going. Um, I like to make the most of everything that I have. I like to make the most of opportunities. So call that resourcefulness. So that has also kept me going. Like any opportunity that comes, I just want to milk it, get as much value from it. Yeah. So that comes at a price, of course. It's been financially rewarding. I'm glad that job did not come in. The paid employment that I thought I was going to get into. I'm really glad that it didn't come in.
What would you advise people who don't even know where to start from the perspective of interior design, furniture making, and then maybe generalize? There are people who don't have ideas of what to do, or they say they don't have money, or they think they need a lot of capital to start. What's your advice to people like that?
I would say that, speaking from my own experience, which is my frame of reference, there's always a part of what you can do from where you are, right? So sometimes we sit down and we have it all pretty in our heads, and we think that the only thing that is stopping us is money. Whereas the only thing that is stopping us is the next line of action, which might not necessarily be money, require money. A lot of times, I think we underestimate the importance of taking the first step, getting a chance to prove ourselves, getting a foot in the door. So yes, sometimes all you need to do is be resourceful. Look within, look around. Who are the people you could talk to? What are the resources that don't necessarily cost you an arm and a leg that you can utilize? For me, it was just saving pictures off the internet. That doesn't cost much apart from your data and the time.
So those were not your pictures, but now you have like a gazillion pictures of your own work. Thank you for your experience. I know, apart from myself, other people would have been able to learn one or two things about how to get into business, even if it's furniture or interior. I want to know if you can give people watching a promo code, because you have very beautiful furniture and interior.
We'll give a 10% discount on all our furniture items.
Okay. So Lumen Interiors is giving 10% discount on all their furniture items. You can check their Instagram
at Lumen_Interiors.
Lumen_Interiors. Once you see what they have on their Instagram, you have to get in touch. The promo code will be Lumen10P. So anything you want to buy from Lumen Interiors, just apply that promo code. If you are calling, if you send a message on Instagram, anyhow you're getting in touch with them, just tell them LUMEN10P and you get that 10% discount. No matter where you are right now, no matter how broke you are, there is something you have, whether it's a talent, a skill, or a hobby that you can use to generate income. I'm going to be sharing videos of people like you and me who have been able to start their own businesses from scratch and are doing well. I would like if you can subscribe, because I'm going to be putting up those videos on this channel. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share with a friend who you think needs to start something right now. Next time.